Welcome. My name is Brian Knight. I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just after 5 o'clock in the morning here. Anyway, it's now 5 o'clock in the morning here on a Tuesday. Welcome, Tom.
Hi, Brian.
How's the roller coaster?
Good for me.
It sure is. That's good. Welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed as educational. And only that. That's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. There is a full risk disclosure and a bit about us as live session traders. Well, battered live session traders, some of us, Darren.
Yeah, well, I've
Having a holiday?
no, I'm back trading again. I've just very briefly, I've stripped it all back. I've gone back to essentially, if you remember, going back a good year ago when you were in these trades, just staying with the trend, using the trend bar as a gap, staying in.
Yep.
And I think you got to about your count was about 50% up at one point. I seem to
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
I've sort of
Yeah.
gone right back to that. So I've got rid of the X48.
Wow.
I've adjusted my settings a bit on the trend bar. And I can
Yeah.
see now by doing that, it would have kept me out of trouble middle of last week.
Yeah.
And I've really simplified it down to that. So getting into trades when the criteria are met, plan is to trail the stop loss in increments, probably two candles, something like that. So profit out, or the trend bar changes colour, and then I close it.
So
That's
what's your trend bar setting then? Okay.
Let's have a look.
Which is this
So,
trend bar. Yeah.
so Euro CAD was a good example where I took a double loss.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Would
we can go down there. Yeah.
yeah, would never have happened with these settings. So trend bar.
Still on the daily.
So on the daily,
Mm-hmm.
trend bar set at 25.
Okay, that's fairly okay. Mm-hmm.
And the twin range, I think the twin range I've kept fiddled about with it, but it's 27,
Mm-hmm.
1.6,
Mm-hmm.
55 and 2.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, but on those settings, I would have got in for a buy on Euro CAD back on 24th of February, and I'd have been going up, and eventually I would have profited out just before all that mayhem, middle of last week. And I'd
Yeah, but it
probably,
would have pulled back here before you got out though.
well, no, let's have a look.
Oh, because you would have trailed your stop.
Yeah, trailing the stop loss. I thinking he's probably keeping two candles back. So eventually I would
Mm-hmm.
have profited out.
Yeah, somewhere around where the short is.
Yeah, that's only one example, but I've sort of been looking at different examples of that. And that now
Yeah.
I would never have taken the sell because the trend bar stayed green. We got the short, but trend bar stayed green.
Mm-hmm.
Several candles, so I wouldn't have taken that
Mm.
sell, which ultimately I got spiked out of. But I would now be back in for a buy potentially off that lot.
Yeah.
So it's something along those lines. But I've looked at different pairs, and I would have avoided I would have avoided all those losses last week
Okay.
uh, because albeit I was getting like short signals on the twin range. The trend bar was staying green,
Mm.
so that would have just
Mm.
kept me out. Now
Mm.
GCAD I'm in for a sell now, for example. So that's doing very well. got in on the short, trend bar red, got the short. You know, and I'm what am I, probably about well 250 pips up or something like that now. So that's what I'm doing. So it's sort of not something along the lines of what you were doing really a while back,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
I'm in a few trades like that.
You reckon that was 20? What did you say, 25 or something?
So what's that? The
Trend
set
bar.
trend bar. Yeah, 20, 25.
It changes it a lot, but then you have to trail. Okay.
I think keeping on the daily, keeping 2 candles gap, just following the trend up or down, and pull back profit, pulls back profit you out, or trend bar changes colour you get out, and then wait for the next opportunity.
Well, you would flip it.
Potentially get back in if the trend bar changes back again, provided you've still got the long or the short that you were that you initially got in on, providing that's still the last signal. So, well, I'm back on the horse, anyways.
Yeah. No, good stuff. Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool. There's a fair delay in this, though, isn't it? It's like, again, which is okay. It's fine.
There is, but if you
this,
try to stop though, and you don't give up loads of profit. So on that GCAD, for example, we're getting on the long back down in February. There would be a good opportunity. Trend bar's green, got the long in. You get just going up, trading your stock, couple of candles. You profit out. Profited out as it started to. Not that I don't think you'd still be going, wouldn't you? Still be in, and then as it starts to come back towards that short, that's when you'd profit out. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But you don't have a red there at all.
Trend bar's still green, but I've profited out because my trailing stop has profited me out. We then get a short, but the trend bar's still green, so I don't take that until the trend bar turns red, which it eventually does. And then I get in and down it goes. Bang. So I'm still working so that short still sort of valid as long as the trend bar does turn red. So
what would stop you getting back into that?
Actually, yes, you're right on that one. Well, because we'd had a short, you see, I wouldn't get in then until we get a long.
Okay.
I wouldn't get back in on that.
Right.
The long has gone. We now have a short.
So
I wouldn't get back in the long until we get back in the buy until we get a long signal. So
you might have got a long and then it disappeared too. So
well, I wait for the candle to close or for it to nearly close. So I always hold fire.
Yeah.
Till late.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, and not concerned about the X48, but it does give you a bit of extra.
It does, but it lured me into taking trades that ultimately cost me dearly, didn't it, last week? And it was the X48 that was, and they do, as as Tom has shown us time and time again, that they can carry on in spite of the X48. They just carry on going up sometimes.
Hmm. So you get a long and a green here. So you wouldn't get in until up here.
Yeah.
And then it's going up. You're going one and two. You would be knocked back out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a successful trade, but it would have been probably a break even. So that's fine. Not to worry. That would probably be a break even on the short then.
Turn
And
red
then
short, and
eventually
then
get-
1, 2, you would be back into a
yeah.
small loss or a break even there, and then the long
Then we
back onto that.
take off, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at yeah, okay. It would be, yeah. You've been a lot more trades, and there's a lot more monitoring of like every day. Well, which is not a problem. Every day you'd be
It's still only
moving it.
once a day though, Brian, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You'd be moving your stop loss to 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 2 candles back. Yeah, okay.
It's all very mechanical again, but
But you wouldn't have a TP.
no TP.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. Okay. Rightio. Well, the market has gone extremely crazy, hasn't it?
Well,
Like
yeah,
it's
absolute bananas. I mean, some of those drops.
look at that.
See, I could have been under my new rules. I could have been in more of these, Brian. I would have got that AD cap, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
down.
like when it's short, you would have got in about there, and if you didn't get out, you'd still be in with 524 pips, and
Yeah,
you know, well, yeah, you just stay in because you'd have a. Well, it depends, yeah, because this
no,
bit here,
there's no reason to get out there because I'm
no, there's no reason to get out, but your stop loss would be too
could
back.
be, yeah.
You
I could
could
have been
be with
taken
this
out.
spike here, there.
I could have been. You're right. But then I'd get back in on the. Wait, let me think. No, potentially I would have been taken out of that one. So you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's just the way it goes
and
sometimes. Yeah,
then they drop it off.
but there are plenty of examples where that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. I'm just looking at your
Yeah.
two back thing, which is
I mean, it might be. It's easy to say that now, looking back at it, but because those cans are so small, and
yeah,
I'd probably ignore the couple of little ones and just use a significant candle, if you see what I mean.
which is
So who
like
knows?
up here.
I may have survived.
Hmm.
Anyone thought at the time.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Hmm. Where if you're looking at the bricks, they just keep going,
Yeah.
and they're still going at the moment. Tom does have a yellow candle. So what happened there, Tom?
I'm already out of it.
Yeah,
But
because of the
that
yellow candle.
I think it was G CAD we were just looking at. That was a double loss in the middle of all that tariff stuff last week.
Mm.
That would not have happened
Yeah, under your what you're
with the
looking
new
at
rules
now.
and settings. Yeah, I would have
Whereas,
just I'd have profited out and I'd have been waiting for the next opportunity to get in. Instead, I was getting in and then getting spiked out.
mm,
Getting in too soon, really. That was the killer last week. Then just cope with the volatility.
oh yeah. Okay, well, fair enough.
But I'll keep you posted as how that I get on with that.
Yeah.
Before I finally succumb to the bricks.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah. Well, we'll see how it all well look, that's right. You need to feel comfortable with how you want to trade, and
I
that's
remember
fine.
how well you were doing.
Yeah, on the trend. Yeah, well
Yeah.
there's
You
no
were keeping it very
issue.
simple. You were
Yeah.
staying in. you were trading your stop. I think you were looking for sort of pullbacks and trading your stop, and just
It was
kept
trailing the stop, absolutely.
until eventually you just profited out and then
Hmm.
waited for the next opportunity.
Yeah, the turn. But again, I suppose that's all that Tom's doing, isn't it, Tom? You're just waiting for opportunities and turn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's, because you're fresh on that, Darren, let's just go through the bricks. Is that okay with
Yeah, yeah.
the pairs? And we can look at where they're at and what's happening. I mean, you can't ignore what the market's done. I mean,
No.
it's gone pretty crazy. I mean, the AUD pairs are just like dramatic moves. Well, some of the other pairs, not really, but shocked.
Well,
It's
John
surprised.
Doherty blew two accounts last week. I saw he posted.
Oh, wow.
He
John
wasn't,
Doherty.
yeah, he wasn't keeping an eye on them, and I think these were what do you call them? Not FTM. What's the term? These FTMO type accounts. These funded accounts. I think he blew
Funded
two
ones.
accounts or something.
Oh, it's not hard to blow them. God. You only need a bit of drawdown on them and you're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. But then again, though, Darren, if you're monitoring your accounts, sure, you're going to be knocked around, but that's what stop losses are for, as a safeguard. It just depends on how big your stop loss is or and how quickly the market moves, which is unusual what it did.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean, we knew it was coming, the tariffs announcement, didn't we? So thinking about
yep.
as I did with the US election, I closed trade.
Yeah, I was
I didn't
thinking that as well, Darren.
I didn't this time. In fact, I was sat in a hotel looking at my phone thinking, what is going on? They're going all over the place. So I just left it then to just sort itself out, and I should have closed trades, but
Well, there were bigger moves than what the election was. It
yeah.
was
Oh, absolutely.
a lot more dramatic than an election result. So, or election process or whatever it is. So yeah, interesting.
And so I think this will keep me out of going to keep me out of few trades. It's going to keep me in.
It's going to be a bit of it's going to be a real difficult thing though for you when there's a lot of consolidation and up and down, and that's going to keep you out of those trades to a great extent. Or you're going to need to keep it. Sorry, you're going to need to analyze and keep out of those sort of trades. Stuff like what was it? If I go, I'm trying to think.
Well, at least if I'm closing them, I'm not waiting for the to stop loss and closing them.
Well, it was GBP CHF, but look at the drop off on that. I mean, look at this. See, it's like green to red to green to red to green to like, and if you got in on that long, you'd be knocked out there. Bang.
Essentially get back in, green again, out again, green again.
Yeah.
But how much are you losing there? Not a lot percentage wise, are you?
Yeah, no.
You get a little push up and a pull back and out, push up, pull back and out. And then you get
well, with two candles back, so it's like that turned green there to one, go up. You just
that's
be
a
in and
break
out all
even
over the
virtually.
time. Yeah, I know.
But then we get the big sell there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got the
you're looking
short. You
at
wouldn't be in till here somewhere.
you're looking at CHF per though, so they're not the best, are they? Let's be honest.
No. But I suppose I'm just using this one as an example of like, in, out, in, out, which is no different to, like if we look candles and you go GBP CHF. I mean, that was a similar sort of situation in here.
Yeah.
And then it just you got the short and off it went, you know. So, and then I would say that I'd say that and Tom would be out with that yellow candle.
I am out.
Yeah, I'm just reading it now, Tom. I'm getting better at reading your bricks. It's like it doesn't mean it won't go further down. But
Euro, I think Euro USD, I took a double loss with the tariff news, but I want to take
Euro
USD.
USD, yeah.
So I've got that nice big push up from the long.
You got the short, you're in. Yeah,
Hang on, Euro USD. Sorry.
yeah.
So I got that long in beginning of March.
Yeah. It was down here. Yeah.
Nice push up, profit out somewhere around about the when it turned red, somewhere around there, around about the short maybe. I'd have profited out when it pulled back.
Oh, yeah.
So
And then it stayed green.
I mean that's a nice trade. That's sort of must be 3% there. And then
Yeah, but you would have got pushed out here because two back, you would have got pushed out at this point, but it's still green.
still green, so I wouldn't have taken that. But the important thing is I wouldn't have taken the sell and got spiked out, which is what actually happened last week. I got in for the sell. I wouldn't have taken it because the trend bar's still green. But I'll be back in the buy now, in a little bit of drawdown, but I'll be back in the buy again off that long.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
There we go.
Okay. We'll brick it up. Okay, let's go through them, Tom. I've got some time today. The reason why I wasn't on yesterday, I stayed over on the weekend at my 91-year-old mum who's coming out of the hospital, and we're doing sort of overnight care. So that's why I wasn't on.
Yeah.
All right. And then later in the week I may not be too. So we'll just see how things travel. Right, AD CAD. All right, Tom.
I'm out of that. I'm waiting for a pull back up. We're on the outside of the rails. So I'm just waiting for this. I've now marked my anchor box. I'm waiting for this to just play out however it's going to play out below so I can buy it on the way back up.
But you're not in a situation at the moment. There isn't any sort of buy stop position that you're sitting in, or do you have one just above the wick of the yellow candle?
No, that entire yellow candle is my anchor box.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just waiting for it to pass back through.
Yeah.
To go up to the high that's going to break that right shoulder.
Okay. Right. Fair enough.
So I just took the meat of the trade, and now it can play. Let me know when you guys are ready. It'll go back up.
Yeah. Well, it targets down a bit further, but it doesn't say it'll make it there either. Okay, no worries. Well, that's fair enough. Like, that's 85. It's a massive drop. Okay. So more to the question though here, Tom. We'll do this. So because you got I'm just thinking about this trade here.
Okay.
Oh, and what would have got you into it is that you have yellow candle, yellow with a short. Now, whether you got in at the bottom of that or the bottom of that, what's the different decision-making process for you?
Well, first of all, you got a head and shoulders pattern setting up. It's telling you. So I'm looking.
It would have left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking for a sell-off anyway.
Yeah.
The moment it created that yellow candle going up, Yep.
Here.
No, the where it says right shoulder, the yellow candle,
Oh, yeah, this one.
the one in the middle. See the green wick?
Yeah, yeah.
That's your entry.
Oh, at the bottom of that.
Right. Now my stop would have been at the top of the yellow brick. Yes. So by the time that yellow brick formed next to it, that says the one next to the short.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's 1.5 candles back. It's got to
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
that wick to keep going down. So I put my
Oh,
entry
this
at the
one.
bottom of that wick.
Okay, yeah. Which
Now, the
is
minute
there,
that
yeah.
yellow candle formed, I saw the yellow candle,
This one,
that one.
yeah,
I moved my stop loss
to the
down
top of
to the
that.
top of that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
To the
so
body,
now,
yeah.
so now when it triggers me in, which it did with that red brick,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
triggered
just there.
in. Now
Yeah.
I move my stop loss back to the top of that wick. The box remains the same. Your placeholder stays the same. Go back to where it was. But now my stop loss is above that wick.
Well, that's what I was doing. I was just moving it
Don't,
back
yeah, but
up.
you don't want to move that.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason being is you're willing to take a loss there.
Okay.
So if this thing starts turning around, you know how high you can go because that's where you set it.
Gotcha.
But if it moves up and down, you don't want to get stopped out by spread.
hmm And when it gave you a short, it gave you a lot more confidence that it was going to sell.
Right. So 2 bricks down further, when it broke the bottom wick on the
Yeah,
other
this
one,
one here.
I just
Yeah.
I just put my stop loss back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But
Getting very cagey.
I'm getting a better spread this way on
hmm
on the trade itself.
Yeah. Okay.
So even if this keeps going a little bit, I didn't lose anything. I just gained. So
Yeah.
now I no longer stress about it. So I put my anchor box around the last yellow brick that was created
Yeah.
because
This
if it's
one.
going to
Yeah.
come up, it's got to break that wick.
Yeah.
And if it's going to come up, it's going to have to break the wick before the red short at the shoulder.
Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. You meaning this short up here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying that potentially, and so wherever that wick is, I can't see it, but that's okay. How do you get to see the wick? Oh, it's there. Okay. So you're saying, you're saying it's there to there. That's like a box there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't want to do that. Anyway, let's stay there. Um, so you're saying it needs to break this box to keep going up.
Right. Or it's going to
Okay,
pull back
gotcha.
into this box and give you a
And then,
short out.
yeah, out of it. Okay, no worries. All right, sweet.
But you're already on this side of the rail. So I'm looking for buys at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, because there's the rail for the X48 here. Okay, no worries. Cool. I just want to understand.
Cool.
Mhm.
Turn your let me help you out here. This really helped
Mhm.
me in the beginning too. Turn your CM trend bars on. Your EMA trend line. The CM one.
Yeah.
Yeah, change that.
Well, I've got three of them, but anyway.
Just put one on. All you got to it's set at 17. So here's what you're looking for. You're looking for that trend line to turn green again outside the top of this box that you just created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's a fair distance away from it, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It could go sideways here, sideways, 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 but you're not looking for a buy unless it's above this box you just put on.
Yeah.
And that trend line has to change.
Yeah, but the trend line might take ages to change before,
No.
you know, it might come out of the box before the trend line changes.
Right, but go left. Let me show you the other one. Go to the falling wedge to the left.
Yep.
Right there. Okay. Grab a rectangle real quick.
Yep.
Take that yellow box right there, that whole square. Yep, right there.
This one. With the wick? With the wick or without the wick?
With the wick? No, just take the right across there. Just stop. Yeah, you see how the trend line, you see your green trend line?
Yeah.
It's above the white box. You have your long, you have your yellow candle, it changes color. You should already be in this trade. It gave you the long wick back into the box where it has to push out of.
Oh, yeah, this one here. Yeah.
It's telling you it's going to change.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
No matter which one you do this on, grab another rectangle real quick. Let me show you what I mean. Take the last box right there. See that left shoulder where it says left shoulder?
Yep.
Take the last box, that box right there. Go across.
The one at the top.
Yep.
Oh, not the yellows.
Nope. The one at the top.
Oh, God, you change your mind all the time.
No, it's always the top box. Keep going across.
Yeah, but this was not the bottom box.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Here's what you're looking for.
Well, it matters to me when you say it's always the top box and then it's not over here. So
it is the top box. Do you see the red box next to it?
That one?
Yeah, that's the top box. Because that push created the long. So if you slide that box over a little bit.
This one?
Yeah. Include that red one. There you go. See how you always cut off the top candle? That red box was the one that created this long. And it had to be above that box, which it did. It tapped out and said, okay, I'm turning green.
You got a red brick below here, where here you don't have anything above this rectangle. And that's what's confusing me, Tom. Sorry.
That's because you're looking at this backwards. So do you see the white box at the top you put on?
Yep.
Cut off the top box. Run the top of that white box up. There you go. Okay, so that's the same thing you're looking at down here at the bottom. The last red brick on the left created the long.
Yeah, but these bricks were not created when this box went on there.
I know.
Okay.
These bricks created after this box, which means that's why you got the long down at the bottom. So all I'm saying is if you just take the last box that it creates, which is that green box at the top where it says shoulder.
The last brick, yeah.
The last brick. And then you cut the top brick off. Slide your box across. No, go back to where it was. See, you still have a brick sticking out the top?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the brick you're cutting off. Don't count it.
Yeah, but the point is that would have been over here.
No.
There.
No, it's not. You got to include that last brick right there, because that's the one the price has to beat. If you'll notice, look where your trend bar changed. Underneath that white brick, underneath that white block that you put on, and it went from green to red.
There.
No, go over to your right. Right there. You're under that rectangle box. You have your short, your trend line turned, you're into the trade.
And it came back into drawdown and then went back down, then came back again, then dropped off. But you'd be out of the trade at that point here anyway when it gave you a yellow brick.
Well, not only that, but see that green wick where the
This one.
where the trend line changes up at the
Ah,
top?
here. Yeah,
Right there. Your stop loss would be above that red brick where it says short. You'd be at the top of the box
Yeah.
where that yellow brick is.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't touch you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying no matter what this does below this white box that you just put on there, that's the box that has to be beat for it to go back up.
Oh.
It may be one brick, it may be several. It may just continue down. But you only want it if it's above this white box and the trend line has changed with a long.
Yeah. So you're using a trend bar again, just like Darren is.
Well, I really only use the boxes. I'm just saying that helped me in the beginning to understand what these boxes were doing, because I put them I would get trades in the box, but be like, oh, it didn't come back all the way. That's because I was getting in too early or getting out too late.
Yeah. Okay. But you certainly, I mean, over here, you would have potentially got into that short there.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it gave you yellow, you would have been back out. That's right.
Yeah, because you see the green box you're at now? Let me explain. You see the green box you're at now with that white box?
Up here.
The green brick. Okay, so if you just take that white box and you slide it down to the left of the green bricks, to your left, go down and point. I'll show you where. To your left. Yeah, you see that row of bricks right there?
Yeah, these yellows.
Slide that down. Slide that white box down there.
Oh, wow. You mean all the way down like that?
Right there. Yep. And cut that top brick off.
Cut it off. What do you mean? Go up?
The white box. See the white box? At the top.
Yeah.
You see where it says short? Bring it down to that short.
There.
Nope. Down to the short. You got to.
Oh, this
you
short.
always cut off the top.
Sorry, that short.
Nope. Up one.
That one.
You always just cut off the top. Okay, so you can't see what's happening on the right-hand side, right?
Correct.
So
like
slide
if you only. Well, all you see is maybe that. Is it more than that?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going to your left. Yeah, right there. Okay, so you saw that you took the green box, the last green box that created the high. You cut off the top like you're supposed to. This gave you the short. You're in the trade for the short. It came down and didn't turn your trend line.
It did. It turned it red.
Yeah, but you're immediately out of that trade because you got a long candle there and it didn't turn your trend line and keep going.
Okay, yeah.
So that kept you out of that bad trade.
It gave you a yellow candle.
Right.
Yeah.
So by the time you got in this, had you just waited, slide it on over, you could see that pulled back up. The trend line's still green. Keep sliding it over. Now the trend line is still in that box and it's changed to red. That's your entry. And then however far down it goes is you write it down.
Yeah, but it's turned yellow there. You probably would have got out.
I wouldn't have. I would have aimed for that bottom. That would have been my target.
Okay.
And then when it came down and it didn't keep going down. Now slide your white box over even further. Because now it can't seem to break that top. It's your third attempt. 1, 2, 3, third attempt. You got your left, right, and head. You got your short. Your trend bar changed inside that box. the wick dropped down to tell you where it's going to have to beat, and that's your
That one
entry.
there. That's
Perfect.
entry there.
Every time.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter it doesn't matter which one of these you pick, it's all the same. Every short and every long.
Mm.
You're waiting for that change of trend bar. Inside that box, boom, down you go.
And now you're waiting here, which is current.
Yeah, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to do the exact same thing, just the other direction.
Mhm. It could continue down for a bit further too, but that doesn't matter.
No, I don't care. I picked up what is that? 3 to almost a 4? What is that? I can't see it.
Yeah, 3%.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll take those losses any day.
Yeah. Those games, you mean? Yeah. Somebody else's loss. Oh yeah. Okay. ADCHF thing. Let's have a look and see where it's at. Oh, okay.
Same thing. There's your wick.
Yeah, it's come up to, didn't beat it and then dropped off again.
It didn't beat. So what's it telling you?
Well,
It's still selling off.
Yeah, but it's also got to beat this.
That's right.
It's got to beat this wick down here.
To keep going lower.
But it could, yeah, to go low, but it could just go to here and then bounce back up again too.
Right. So I already have my box set up. Once that trend bar changes outside, and I get the long on the outside of the box,
yeah,
then I know it's going back up.
Is this basically the box, is it?
I'm taking this one from the top of the wick only because this couldn't break it. Yes, that's my box right there.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like you have sort of become more conservative in your entries then. Because if that's like 2 candles back, you got a short, you'd be in here. It would have normally been in.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I didn't want. I didn't want to give up all that money I just made. So I'd rather just get out of the trade because I don't know at this point because it's consolidating. So it's either at this point going to drop down and beat this wick, which was the lower low, which is going to create a new lower low. And then I just start the process all over again, which means that white box will slide down to the bottom of these of the yellow candles.
Yeah.
So let's just practice for a second. Can you slide that white box down now to where the body of the candles are taken by the white of the box at the top?
Hang on a minute. Say that again.
Is
that where you want it?
Take the top.
Take the top.
Yeah, and slide it down to the yellow candle body. Right there. Okay. So now, no matter what, don't take a trade unless that trend line is above that red wick.
Oh, yeah.
And the trend line has changed color. And you got a long.
Yeah.
And you got a new lower low. If this breaks this last little bit, now take that white box and slide it up gently to the yellow body candle. No, not the top, not the top. Go back. Right there. The bottom, yeah. Just to the body. There you go. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. If it breaks this low down here, we're still going lower, which means this line will have not changed.
It breaks this lower low, you mean? Yeah.
Right.
It'll create a new lower low.
Wherever that may be.
Yes, well, a little bit below it, yeah.
But it didn't change your trend line. So the way I see it is, if it doesn't break that red wick, then we're still going down, and it hasn't.
No, it hasn't broken.
So your trend line bar has to be on the other side of this box. So if it creates a new low, just slide your box down with it to the next set. Your next set would be that red brick, because that's the last red brick that created the new low. And set up your new box to combat it. You're only trading that specific area. The rest of the chart doesn't matter.
All those bricks got created pretty quickly.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm sure. You got a brick there that's on that Wednesday, and that brick there is on the Friday.
Right.
There's a whole lot of bricks done real quick.
Right. So because it's Monday, I'm looking at this to consolidate for a day or two.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a change during the week at some point where we're going to get a push back up.
When panic sets in.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing on every pair.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's a non-trade just at the moment. Okay. So you, as I said, you're more conservative because that was a short. We got 2 candles back. You didn't get into the trade at that point.
Correct.
Okay. Because you're waiting on this. Will you get into a sell if it breaks this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But there's a trick to it. You have to wait for one brick to close outside that last wick.
So you need a brick down below that wick to close before you would convince yourself to get into the sell.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. Okay. ADJPY. Pull back and further sell. Okay.
That's right. I'm in this on the buy back up.
Yeah, but we don't have a yellow candle at this point.
No, I have nothing at this point other than that low.
Yeah, but we could get a yellow candle.
Well, this would have been a nice sell under the new rules, but I didn't. Missed it. I got a short, dropped beautifully.
Yeah, I got it from the bottom of that yellow wick down. And the minute I hit the red side of this wedge, that one right there. And then the minute it hit the side of this wedge and said low, I was like, I just got out. I just took the profits.
Okay, AD, NZD. It dropped off as well. But it's only come down to the same spot.
I'm in this one for the sell.
Yeah, well, the problem is that, oh, not problem. Sorry, Darren. I shouldn't say that. There's a low here.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
hasn't
but
broken.
that doesn't mean it's going to stop there. It's just
Okay.
telling you it's created a new low. How low it's going to go, it doesn't know. And you can't count on the green line to tell you this is where it's going to
No,
turn. You just have to follow the
no.
formula. All these other things are just telling you, yeah, you guessed in the right direction. And until it proves you wrong, stay in.
Yeah, but if you're not in a trade now, it's not the optimal time to get in. Like you would be in from up here somewhere. You'd probably be out because of that yellow candle there.
Well, I don't have that because I'm on a different feed than you.
Yeah,
So I did take the short,
yeah,
and it turned around and gave me a yellow candle at the bottom here where your red brick is.
yeah. That's
It gave
yellow,
me a
isn't it?
yellow candle and it
Mhm.
flashed. And so I set up a trade. It spiked me in, and then the yellow candle went away. So I got faked out too. So I got all that profit, but now I'm just waiting for it to turn to go back up because we're in a rectangle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, no worries. So yeah, just Darren. Yeah, I suppose just being cautious of where it is at the currently where it is for you. If you're in the cell,
I just got in the cell again
right? Okay.
because it still says it's pushing down. How far it's going to go, I don't know. But if you take your anchor candle, which is that little red candle right there before the long on the left, that one right there, down to where it's at now, cut off the top. Don't take the last brick. Never take the last brick. Nope, nope. Go back to where you were at the top. There you go, right there. Push that one up. There you go. So now I'm waiting for this to tell me that that trend line is going to change somewhere in this box. We're going to get a long. We're going to get a yellow candle. And out the other side of the box, we're going to go. So as long as it's saying it's selling, I'm just going to let it sell until it tells
Because you
me
haven't got
it's
it.
time to buy.
You haven't got a yellow candle there at all.
Right. And I don't have a long, I don't have anything.
Mhm.
So let's see how far it goes. Just
Right.
because just because I think it's going to turn around doesn't mean it's going to.
Mr. Trump is talking right now, so we might see a bit of action.
Oh, he's not trying to backpedal, is he?
Oh no, well, so far he said he's not pausing on tariffs despite the market turmoil.
He's digging in.
He's digging in.
Lovely.
So
I
depending
like
on
that.
how the rest of this press conference goes, you might just see a bit more action on the, bit more movement.
Ah, lovely. Well, he's um, yeah. Oh, yeah, see, this is what I was going to mention too. Australian dollar dives to 5-year low as markets bet on big rate cuts. Well, yesterday there was all this like, oh no, we're going to go half a basis point in May. We're going to have 4 more rate cuts. It's like oh my God. All of a sudden it's like, no, no, gently, gently. And then now it's like, oh,
Well,
the
see that
RBA
happening
has
now,
to
can't
say,
you? They're going to try and stop the rot in the economy, and that's the obvious thing to do is cut interest rates.
I don't know whether it'll happen. We'll just see.
Yeah.
Anyway. And there was a mention, just so that I can clear up the mysteries. Like the question is, who says what is true? Who's the authority to say what is true? Anyway, apparently it was mentioned. I don't know if you saw the thing with Trump at the Rose Garden talking about the tariffs, and then he actually, well, we see it here anyway. He specifically mentioned Australia, that we don't accept it. We have a ban on any US beef coming to Australia, and we send 3 billion, whatever it is, to the US. Total lies. There is no ban at all on US beef coming to Australia. One, it's too expensive. Nobody's going to import it when it's dearer than what it is here. And America has, well, the US has a demand for beef. It's just, it was total rubbish. We did have a ban when there was, I think it was foot and mouth back in the 90s, US beef. There was, but that's since gone.
Yeah.
So
We had foot and mouth in the 90s, I remember.
yeah.
Traveling around with a job and
Yeah,
went to get the car.
Jakobs still,
Hey,
we banned stuff from UK as well, but
yeah,
that's since gone. So he was saying the ban's there. It's like there is no ban. It's just the stuff's way too expensive. Why would we? And
yeah.
that's why US buys our beef, because it's a whole lot cheaper than their own. It's like, it's just like, anyway, just so that maybe set the records a little straight, but it's going to be only here. Right. AUD Singapore, which you're not going to be part of. I'm going to need to do my own assessment on this one, Tom. Right. Yeah, the Aussie dollar has just gone, get poofed down.
Just tanked. The old dollar's tanked, absolutely tanked.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's only, I mean, most of the reports are is because we tend to supply, like, all of our materials or raw materials goes to China. So if China has a drama, then that's going to fall back on us, and we're not going to have as much income from the process. So when China and US are in a trade war, then it's the consequences in other countries that is the issue more than anything.
He's threatening 50% on China in retaliation to the China 34% or whatever.
Well, they've already got 70 something. And it's very interesting. I don't know, did you read the article? There was an article about how did Trump, or how did the administration come to the percentages that they put to the countries? And it's a basic mathematical thing. So all they did is they worked out what is the trade difference, like who owes who, and then we'll just halve that, and then it's 50% of whatever that trade amount is. It was pretty. They said any school kid with a calculator can work it out.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
It wasn't complicated.
Well, you've got to wonder what sort of level of IQ there is in that Trump administration now. I mean, when they're imposing big tariffs on uninhabited islands, it's been
Yeah.
pointed out. You've got to think, who are these people and what?
Well, they're being thorough. You got to be thorough, don't you? You got to make sure if an island doesn't have any
Yeah.
people that you still
I've never heard of that island, but it sounds a bit
and
dodgy.
there's nothing exported from it to the US. It's anyway. Well, they're being very thorough and making
Yeah.
sure that the followers of they're doing the right thing, because they would have been pointed out. Well, why didn't you do something to that island? So here, I'm being very Tom. I know you don't trade this pair, and he's. Oh no, you're muted. Okay, I'm just trying to work out.
Yeah, I was saying they're all the same. Just take your last red brick that created the long.
The short, you mean? There's no long there.
Or
Oh, you
the
mean
higher
that
low,
long over
whatever
here?
that is right there.
This one here.
No, see the last red brick where your white box is?
Yeah, this one.
Nope, the last one. Yep. Nope, the last one. Yes. Circle that with the white box. And then drag that down, cut off the top. Nope, grab that and drag it down. Cut off the last brick
Okay.
right there. Look at your trend line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pull over the joint. Yeah. Oh no, that trend line. Yeah, yeah, it's at the top of the box. It's red. Yeah.
Right. So in order for it to keep going up, it has to break out the top of that box.
Mm-hmm.
In order for it to keep going down, it can't beat the top of that box
Mm.
because that's your red wick. See the red wick above it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
red
can
wick
see
you
it.
got to beat.
Yeah.
So what you're looking for now is to do what it says inside that box. If they're short moves and you have doubt, don't take them.
Yeah, you don't take trades. Yeah.
It's consolidating.
Yeah.
You're looking for a nice, decent push out one side and then a nice,
Yeah.
decent push back up or
Yeah. Yeah.
down, whichever way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's patience. Just watch your trend bar run through that box.
Mm. Okay. Now this is AD USD.
I have that exact setup with this. From that last red brick, cut off the top block. There you go. And now just watch your trend bar.
It's in the box. Okay.
Right. So you're looking for that trend bar to be coming out the other side with a long. If
Out
it's
here.
going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it can even be inside the box with a long.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. All right. Now it's an hour. We've been here an hour, but I'll go through a couple more. We'll just see how we go, and then we can catch up further. Anyway, catch CHF.
Now take the yellow candle. See the yellow
This
candle?
one.
That one right there, yes. Down to the other yellow candle, but cut the yellow candle off. There you go. That's your setup.
You see it's broken
Now
with
you're
red. You should be in the buy.
I am in the buy.
Yeah, but it hasn't changed the trend bar yet.
So let it fail. Worst case scenario, I just kill the trade
Get
and
out.
lose nothing.
Yeah, okay. But you're in the trade now. Okay. I just have to keep doing these.
Yeah, it's just practice, just relentlessly practicing.
I know. But you're a lot more conservative than what you used to be, because it was like 1, 2, you would be in at that point.
I am in that point.
Sorry?
That's where I got in.
Oh, not at the top of the wick?
That
The
is
red.
1, 2 back from the yellow candle right there.
Oh, from the
I just
yellow.
went, yeah, I just went
But it
1,
used
2.
to be 1, 2, including the yellow. You used to get in about here, not there.
No.
But you've changed.
No, I haven't changed. Look,
Okay.
Brian, there's multiple ways of doing this. If you can,
Mhm.
if you see the box, right?
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
that red wick?
Yeah.
In order to keep going up, it's got to beat that red
Break
wick.
it. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So if you have that yellow candle form,
Hmm.
and then it starts forming the next candle,
Hmm.
the green one,
Yeah.
and you go 1, 2, and a
Okay.
half back, half of that yellow candle, half,
Oh, yeah.
right there. If it's going to go up, it's got to beat that red candle. So rather than going 2.5 back, I just went to the top of the candle
Wick.
because
Okay,
it's
yeah, right.
more, there's a higher probability that the
Mhm.
trade's going to work out if it beats the wick. If it doesn't
okay.
beat the wick, it could still go down.
Yeah, because it could come up and just come below it and then just drop off. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So if there's no wick there, no wick
Mhm.
whatsoever, I'll count two back, 1, 2.
Mhm.
Or if that red wick wasn't there and the only red wick was up there at the higher
Yeah,
area,
this
I do
one.
2.5 back.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. KJ. I think you're right. Yeah, because you just go wick. But if for example here, if oh God, if that was not a yellow candle, if that was say red, then you would count those two and then be yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
how
there's a red wick above it.
correct. Okay. All right. KJ. Hmm.
I'm in the buy.
Yeah. Because it broke that red wick. Green. Yeah, I got a green trend bar.
Mm-hmm. And it's closing on the high side of the box, right? So take that red wick, take your white box and move it up to the red wick. Is your trend line above that white box?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you're still in a good positive trade then.
Yeah. And the next is for it to break the red wick over here.
That's right.
And then potentially break that wick.
That's right.
Or turn and come back down.
Either way, I'm in the trade.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I'm in the sell on this. So there we go.
Sorry. You're in a sell on KJ.
Yeah.
Let's go have a look at it. Mm. Problem is it's pushed back up.
So got in on the short,
Yeah.
went into profit, pulled back up. Trend bar's still red, so I'm staying in until, well, that's my intention, stay in until, as long as that trend bar stays red, I'm staying in.
As soon as it turns green, you're just going to jump out with a bit of loss.
Well, it'll basically turn green when the candle hits the candle body, pushes through that trend bar line.
Aha, that's when it changes. Okay, right.
Yeah, ultimately. The moment it's wicked it and it's sucked back down again.
Mm. Okay. All right. CHF, JPY.
I'm in this one for the buy.
But did you get out here and then back in again?
Oh, I got out before the trend bar changed over here to the left.
Yeah,
And that came down, started playing around, and I got out. So then so then I took my last yellow brick down that caused the long. See the one to the left? To the left, all the way to the left. Left.
Oh, over here.
Left. The last yellow brick right next to it. See it to the left?
Oh, that one.
That one right there. Grab a rectangle.
With the wick? No.
Nope, just the body. Go across. See, this was the yellow brick that caused this long. If you drag that white box down, cutting off the last of the bricks, just like that. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It comes in, plays around inside the box,
Yeah.
changes colors, gives you the long yellow wicks out with the longs. Your trend bars change. See the long to your right? It's closed outside this box. and away it goes.
Okay.
Now you could even tighten this up if you wanted to. And you see that row of yellow bricks where it says short?
Yeah.
In the middle, down in the middle?
Yeah.
Down in the middle?
Oh, down here. Oh,
and you
yeah.
see that short?
Yeah.
That yellow brick? Pull your box down to that yellow brick. Right there. Perfect. Bingo. Now you're even tighter.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in underneath that yellow wick. It had the red wick above it. See the red wick higher?
Yeah, yeah.
Nope, higher. Yep. So all I did was I put my entry there.
Oh, right. Okay. Up here.
And then my stop loss below that yellow wick to your right there. No, go back to where it says long. That one right there.
Okay.
And now I just let it run.
Because it would have to break that if it was going to
Come
continue
back.
down.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. Just trying to read it. That's all. No, your AD. That went crazy too. Look at that. Freaking hell. And it's coming up. It's broken that wick again. So it looks like it's continuing up potentially.
And what am I paying attention to?
The yellow and the, I don't know, it's top 1 and 2. They're both the same up
That's
here.
right. Grab a rectangle. Go from the bottom of that yellow box and cut off the top boxes at the top. Perfect. Now I'm looking for that to turn over inside this box.
But you've got a green here. Okay.
Right. So this is going to fart around here for a day or so until probably like the news gets ready to hit.
Yeah.
And then it's going to have to close below this box. So I'm looking for this to go, short, along, a short,
but
along,
it
a
could
short,
create
along.
it could create a yellow with a wick down too, though.
That's right. So if I get a yellow here with a wick that closes above the top 2, I'm going to look for entry below that red brick that created the box.
Okay, yeah.
And then my stop will be above these 2 at the top.
Okay.
But this gives you time so you can look at it as it's creating.
Yeah.
It's just clean. It's just clean.
Okay. So you're okay.
Just have a quick, well, if you don't mind, Brian, quick look at that Euro AUD under my
Yeah.
Absolute lovely 2 perfect trades there, potentially. The trend bar. So first of all, you got your long back in sort of late February, all the way up there. You stayed in and then profited out when it just pulled back there, and then trend bar.
But you wouldn't have got into the sell.
No, and then we get another long there, and off we go.
And you would have gone in. Got it.
Yeah. And again, I think.
But at the long, you would have been close coming back to.
Oh, I'd have put my stop loss initially just below the
there.
Yeah, just below there, so that would have survived just, and then off it took.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, I didn't get that in under my
No, because you got the short and you would have got into the sell.
Yeah, potentially. I'd have to have a look what the settings look like, but yeah. In fact, I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, because you got the
They
short
got,
and stuff. Yeah. And then all
they
of a
got
sudden it come
spiked
back
on.
up and yeah. And then it danced around, then off it went seriously. Okay. You're okay. Oh, well, that's a bit of rubbish, Tom.
Okay.
You're okay. I don't know, that's a box from before.
Take that yellow brick, the one to your left.
Take that down as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you see the wick?
Yeah, down the bottom of it.
Nope. You see the red brick where it started right now?
Yeah,
See the 2 wicks below it?
yeah. Well, there's 3. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're looking for is it to beat these wicks. Now, is it going to keep going down? We don't know.
Hmm.
So I'm waiting for this to give me a short because I
Yeah,
already
I was
got a
going to
long
say.
out of it.
Yeah.
Now I'm waiting for a short out of this.
Hmm.
If I get the short, I'll take the short
And a change in the trend bar.
and a change, right? Because it'll be below the white box.
Okay. Euro CHF. Yeah. Look at what it's potentially. So there's a wick there for it to potentially break there.
Yeah, but your box is wrong.
And a wick up there. Okay. Well, give us the direction. You want box up
No,
here or
your white box. See the bottom where your white box is?
yeah.
Drag that to the very top, cut off the top box.
Up here.
Yep. Okay. Now take the bottom of that white box and drag it up just to the last. Nope, too far.
Oop.
Down. See the last yellow, the last brick that created the long. There you go, right there.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
now,
okay.
so now as it comes down, it's already changed colors. It's a little late to get into this trade now.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the pullback into this box and another short.
Okay. Okay. Euro GBP.
I'm in this one.
Yeah.
I've got to grow. I've got to go, Brian. I said grow then.
Yeah.
I go,
No,
go.
Darren.
So I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, Darren, no worries. I'm just gonna
Okay.
maybe go through a few more and we'll see how we go.
Take care,
Thank
Darren.
you. See you.
All right.
Cheers.
All the best, Darren.
See you.
Um, yeah, so Euro G, if you need to go, Tom, just yell out. I'm just gonna go through a few more.
Okay.
Well, it didn't break the bottom down there, so it didn't create a lower low. It's made a lower high. for it to break that up here, it's going to have to continue or turn.
Mhm.
Currently, it's still got um, uh, so the box is off over here, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. That's the last one there.
And drag it across.
Both of those yellows, is that what I'm
Yep.
doing?
Yep.
Try to get a bit more.
So now this is telling me
I've
it's
cut
buying.
off. So wait a minute. Wait. I've got to understand. So I've cut off the last brick.
Yep.
I've come down. Why have I taken those two?
Structure. So
Okay,
you're looking
rightio.
for whatever Pac-Man is eating over here to your left. There's fair value gaps and everything else in there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So all you're doing is looking for this trend line to continue up. So I'm in the buy for this. I'm just going to let it run till it runs.
Mm-hmm.
If it changes and says short, then I'm not getting into this short until that green line changes to red.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The trend bar.
If that green line doesn't change to red, I'm still buying.
Yeah. Okay.
Grab another rectangle just real quick.
Cool.
Let me show you how you could have picked up the bottom trade. So
Which
find the
is
last red candle that made
that
the
one.
long on the left.
Oh,
To your
wow.
left. One more left. See that red candle right there? Where
This
those
one.
three yellow bricks are? Right above it.
That one.
That one. Circle that one and go straight across. Because you always cut off the last brick, remember?
Yeah, down here. Yeah.
Down there. And the trend line had to stay above this box,
Mm-hmm.
turn green,
Yeah, well,
hold back.
you would have been, oh yeah, you got along. So you would have been into that buy, back out of it, back into the buy, or whether you would have gone into that sell or not.
Right. Those are some of the things you got to ask yourself what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it turns green again, it's got a long. You got your
Yeah,
red
yeah.
wick above it.
Yeah, yeah.
See the red
There.
wick nope. See the red wick where it says long to
Yeah,
your
the
right.
red wick's just here. Oh,
To
you
your
mean
right.
this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have it's above the box. Your green trend line has changed. You have your long and you have a red wick to beat. That's your trade. All the rest of this garbage in here doesn't matter.
You are a lot more conservative than you used to be, I can tell.
I'm I'm just getting better at it is all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, which I'm seeing as.
Yeah, I'm losing my surprise factor.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's
And
either it's going
also
to do what I want or
reducing,
it doesn't.
yeah, you're also reducing a lot more in outs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, JP was. That's pretty messy, isn't it?
Yep.
You're probably not, you're probably staying out of that one.
I do not have a trade going on it yet. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay.
It's
You're
still
at
in my kill box.
yeah, no. You're at NZD.
This is also still in my kill box.
Yeah. We've got a yellow. So you got
With a
out of the
wick.
yeah, you got out of the trade because of the yellow.
Yes.
10. Okay. So when you got that and you're looking at a trade to get, you want it needs to break that
Has
lower.
to. Yes.
So you're sort of got, well, that would be, would that be the box, or are you going to go down further on?
No, you take the last box. See the yellow box to your left? No, way too far. See where it says short? See where it says short?
Yeah.
See the left box next to it? It's the last box, that one right there. Drag that white box down to it.
Drag it down to it.
Yes. There you go. So now your trend line is within this box. This is the zone it has to beat. Either going up or going down.
Yeah.
So now that you're in this box,
Potentially it'll come down and then turn in the box.
potentially, exactly.
Yeah.
But in order for it to keep going down, it has to break that yellow box. It's the last box that created the long.
You mean the white box? Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean white box?
Oh, you mean this? It has to break
No, the
this
yellow box. The yellow box to your left.
that one.
Yeah, it has to.
You mean the brick, yellow brick? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry. The yellow brick has.
Yeah, because
to
this one's
beat that
this one's a
box.
box. They're bricks to me, so that's
Right.
okay. I'm just language. So it'll need to break that one. Okay, gotcha. And but also too, it'll need to break that wick as well.
Right. So slide it over to your right. Let me see where that green line goes. The other line, the other way.
Sorry. Oh, this one. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. See, look, you're looking at this as a buy now.
Yeah.
So now that it's in this box, you take that short and you pick up 5 or 6 bricks.
Yeah, going down. Yeah.
And then because you're looking at it as you're looking for it to go long now, when it comes down to this brick, you're looking for this to tap, give you a yellow candle and a long. And then you would get into that. Now, because the high point of this is saying we're going to buy way up here.
Yeah.
You have to remember when you buy this out of the white box going the other direction, this will move with it. This green line will move up with it.
Yeah.
So by the time this push is done, the bottom of the green arrow down here where it comes down like a little check mark could be at the top of this box now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Gotcha. Because it'll change. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or it may start pushing down and all of a sudden this green line goes, oh, no, we're selling, and give you a green line downward.
Yeah, down. Yeah, yeah.
So all that green line does is just gives your mind a visual of what to look for should something happen.
Potential, yeah. Okay. So in the US, are the protesters being jailed? Like,
I'm sorry, what?
are the protesters being jailed?
Here? No.
Yeah. Oh, not yet.
Some protesters are. I mean, I watched one guy jump out with a Uzi the other day. He was in a MAGA truck. They kicked the living snot out of him. He never got a shot off.
Oh, God. Yeah, the rebellion is starting, yeah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, we just need to watch this then. Okay, no worries. US Singapore, you don't trade anyway. We'll just leave that one for the minute, but Euro USD.
Same thing. I'm in this.
Yeah, for the sell. Well, again, in a way, it's broken that week.
That's right.
but that's in the other direction, but it doesn't matter. It's still broken that wick back down. We don't have a change here though. Now, if we look at a box, you're talking potentially,
That green box.
yeah, I know, but with the yellow or not? Yeah, with the yellow.
No, not with the yellow. It's the last box that created the long. Yep, just like that.
Okay.
And then take that white box to the top, cut off the top. Right there.
Okay.
And what that does is it allows it to move in and out of here with shorts and longs without making you get into it.
There's no short there.
Yeah, you don't want to fake out.
No.
Yeah, I'm in this. I still don't have a short yet.
Shit. Okay. So it's probably wrong. You're not as conservative.
No, I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it to beat this red brick at the bottom.
Yeah.
And your
Okay.
trend line's already at the bottom of the white box.
Yeah.
So
The
let it
green
come to,
one.
if it turns around here and goes, nope, I've decided I don't want to break down here or I'm done here, and it starts turning around to go back up, I can just get out.
Yeah, if it doesn't break the bottom of the box, then okay. Oh yeah. I'd like to do the GBPs. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
We'll
This is
just
what
go
I'm
through
doing.
just through the GBPs. That's a bit okay. Reckon it's going to drop off, but yeah. Come down. He didn't change it, so it gave you short. Didn't change that. As soon as that one all along, you would have been back out again.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to give me another short because it's going to have to break that red brick and then go after
This
that
one,
long wick on the yellow candle to your left. Yeah.
yeah, this one down here.
So it's going to give me either a yellow candle or something like that, and then I'll set my trade.
It looks like it might because there's a wick on this one here. See
Right.
that brick there? Got a
Yep.
wick.
Uh-huh.
So it'll probably turn out yellow. Hang on, we'll just see. No, Wanda doesn't have it either.
That is my current setup, though. That is my feed. I'm seeing the same thing you are.
Yeah, I just changed it to a Wanda. But
So all I did was I
as a back
adjusted
tap.
my all I
Hang on,
did was adjust my kill box,
which
and now I wait.
is kill box. You mean this rectangle? So it's not the last one there.
It is the last one there.
No,
That
you
red
haven't.
brick,
Yeah.
because that's a new short. So cut that
Sorry.
one off.
It's not a short. Oh, that the short there. Yeah. Cut that off. That's right.
And then go to the top and cut those bricks off. The bricks to your left.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So there's your trade. There's your trade setup.
Okay.
So now I'm just waiting for that trend line to get in that box, change, give me a short, and I'm looking for a sellout.
Mhm.
Just because it says it's going up to that pointy thing right there does
Doesn't
not
mean it
mean it's
will.
going up to that
No.
pointy thing right there.
No. And break the high. Yeah. Because we got a lower and then we got a yellow. That's got to be a yellow brick for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
so just
highly
patience.
likely. Yeah. Okay. GBP CAD.
Came into my kill box, came out of my kill box. I'm in this.
Hey, let me try and work this. So, but this would be, oh, whoops. Potentially there.
That's
No?
it, exactly. Perfect.
Take the top one off. You got the yellow there. It broke that wick there, but then it pushed back up and then it dropped off. But it hasn't get. But you got the short there,
That's right.
so you didn't get in until about here,
Right.
or just below that wick.
I got in below that wick.
Yeah, that's what I would have assumed. And it had turned red on the trend bar and bang, 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 and you're still in it.
Yeah, I'm just letting it run.
Yeah, okay. I'm just practicing here, right? GBP Hmm. This one's a bit in uncharted territory at the moment, though. We've still got the red. We got, let's, would you do something like that?
Yes, except I wouldn't take that wick where you started. I would take just the body. Now, the reason I would start it way over here like you did is because
Yeah,
that's too far of a drop
yeah,
to try and go back up and do it at the top.
yeah, I know. That's what I was looking at.
Right. So you take the
But
next.
but again, this is the long that pushed it up, and that's the base. So I'm
That's
going,
right.
well, if it's gone below it, it's either got to come back up to it or it'll continue. So I don't know at this point. And if it's going to continue up, it has to break this wick up here.
That's right. So my kill box is a little bit tighter than yours. The top of my box is the top of that red wick. Yep, just like that. Which means now, if it's going to come back up, it's going to have to beat that red wick, right?
But you would have got out of this trade because it had a yellow candle.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
took that profit.
yeah.
So slide your box over, your white box over, right there, and then slide it over a little bit more. There you go. And now wait for your trend bar to change above that box.
Yeah, but it may not. It
Otherwise,
may just
it's
keep.
selling.
It may keep sell. Yeah, that's right. It's pretty tight. Hmm.
Yeah, I just don't like that yellow candle, so I got out.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough too. Right, GJ. Um, that's telling you to. That would have been messy in there.
Yeah, I didn't get. I didn't
No,
even play with this one.
and you probably wouldn't have even got into the long on that either.
Nope. I just stayed
So,
away from it.
so,
I just
so
stayed
for
away from it.
sure, when it broke that wick just there, you're probably into it about here.
You could be, yes. I did not.
You haven't got into that cell. Okay.
No. I'd rather miss it and pick up that trade on the way up.
Yeah, I think it's going to sell further. Potentially. We'll just see anyway. Anyway, there's no yellow brick. Oh, there's a brick starting up here. Okay. GN. Yeah, it's messy, isn't it?
But there's your kill box. Do you see it?
Let me try it. No, I don't. I have to imagine it a little bit.
Right there. Straight across. On down.
Down further.
No, you're right. You were right the first time.
Yeah, just
Right there. Yep.
We've got a short, but it pulled back up. So for it to continue up, it has to break this wick up here.
Mm-hmm. And look at your next set of wicks down to your left.
Down here.
Two of them right in a row. That's
Yeah.
that's trend line money sitting there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this to give me a signal that it's going to change and push down, and those two are my target.
No, but
That
you have to give.
third
It'll have
one?
to give. Why did it have to give you another long and then a short?
No, I'm looking for another yellow candle, actually.
This one yellow.
What?
This current brick to go yellow.
Or a yellow brick in there somewhere.
Okay.
It may be 2 or 3 bricks away, but I'm looking for a yellow brick.
Yeah.
Something to show me it's truly going down.
But wouldn't it have to do a long before it could do a short and go down?
No?
No?
No, it could just keep rolling over and just short right off.
Well, it's already a short there.
Yeah, you're in a short now.
Okay.
It hasn't beaten the
But
top,
that
so
brick
that short holds.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, you mean the top of the red wick hasn't broken, that's why the short will hold.
Right.
Because the top of the short's broken.
Right. But it's the top of the red wick that's going to hold the
Okay.
entire move.
Right. That's what I wanted to ask. Yeah. Okay.
And the closer that trend bar is to that one little individual white box, the
Mhm.
better move it's going to be
Mhm.
when it breaks.
Yeah. To sell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just look at G Singapore. Right. Okay. Let's change. That should have been a trade anyway. Okay. Rightio. And GU.
I'm in this.
Yeah. We've already done the box. Actually, it's changed.
It's wrong.
Well, yeah, but it's what we actually did that was right at the time. But the bricks have,
Yeah, but you got to remember, Trading View will move your stuff around. That's why you got to
yeah,
double check your stuff
yeah,
before you place your trade.
it's okay.
Nope, got the top ones off. There you go. And then slide that up. Too high. You got to take those yellow bricks. They're the last ones that created the long. There you go.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like
because I
that.
have to be at
See
the
that?
turn. Okay, I'll just
Right.
go to,
You see your trend bar change?
yeah, change red and then you're in.
BEA beautiful.
But the point is that short you could have got in.
I did. I got in underneath that yellow.
That yellow.
No, at the top for the short.
Okay. Even before the short got created.
No, 2.5 back. 2.5 bricks back.
There.
Yeah, right there. So by the time the yellow was created, it showed me that it's going to push down because the yellow is being created. I assumed, you have to assume,
Mhm.
that the computer's telling you it's gonna push down. So you got your
Yeah.
triangle, you got your
Yeah.
lower
Yeah,
high, you got
yeah.
your yellow candle, you
Yeah.
got your kill box. The
Mm.
trend line's coming up to it. I'm rolling those dice saying I think it's
Yeah.
gonna push down.
So now it's either going to break this or this week or not and turn and go back up.
Correct.
Right, yeah. All right. We'll leave it there for today, I think.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll just see how we go.
Let's see. I am at, when I closed everything this morning, I was at 2.6. I'm currently at 4.5%. Still running.
Yeah.
So I went from, I think it was 30.5.
Yeah, 30%. Yeah.
Yeah, down to I'm back down to below 5%.
Yeah, but you've profited those out, though. That's the thing. You haven't, it hasn't
Yeah,
actually.
all that I just
Yeah,
took
I
all
know.
that profit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Good.
now I'll just wait till this week changes because during this week I'm going to get additional pushes in another direction.
Mhm.
And it's just following the same exact routine every single time. Find your kill box, set up your trade, make sure your trend line is closing outside that trend box.
Mhm.
Done.
Mhm. Well, there's a few US dollar ones there to look at too. We'll have another sweep tomorrow. We might be able to go through some more.
All right.
We'll see. All right, then. Take it easy. Thanks
So
for your
this,
time, Tom.
so
Yeah.
this is the new time going forward, though.
Correct.
Okay, it's my noon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
Right, yeah.